Right, you two. What do you say we go back to mine for the evening, eh? Gorgeous.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
And then finally, on the fourth day, he actually texted me back and he said, "Oh, I had such a nice date, you really remind me of my ex-girlfriend." I thought that's so sweet because he was with her for like 6 years. And my mum's really
Old
pleased.
Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Yeah, you're definitely... And then she was like, "Oh, well, I don't know where they live." And I was like, "Well, obviously they live in the stockroom, like where they always are." And she was like, "Oh, guys, can you help me because I'm too weak?" And she made the men go and get it.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Don't go and... Oh.
Question number 12. To the nearest 1,000, how many pebbles are on Brighton Beach?
Is that at high tide, Barbara, or low tide? Only asking.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Did you know the French make over 2,000 different cheeses? Keep going, lads. You'll get to cheddar eventually.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
I see you wear your jeans coalition style. Always on the point of collapse.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Barbara! Barbara! Pint of Old Speckled Hen and a packet of crisps, please.
Oh, what flavour?
Pay attention, Barbara. Beer flavour of... Oh, you mean the crisps. Chicken?
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Class, eh? What does he know? Probably thinks Debonair is a flight service to the West Country. Never mind.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
I went on a hen night once, ate 20 of the blighters. Ha!
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
So I gave them the old half-badger routine, and while they were sniffing round a tree, I slipped over a fence and leapt...
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
You know what they say, Barbara? You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Hot dogs, yes.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
So you're in catering. My father was in poultry. Import, export, mostly import.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
You're round, Peter. Peter. You're round. Come on, Peter. Don't make me come round your house at 3 in the morning giving it the old...
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Says here, the world's biggest hen found in Kansas.
Taxi! To the airport.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
I wouldn't say I was gentry exactly, as I've got a couple of acres. Probably shouldn't have worn my breeches quite so tight.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
Ah, the joys of spring and the splendour of a barmaid's beautifully formed bicep.
Old Speckled Hen sponsors Prime Time.
I tell you, Barbara, I've got a mouth like a ferret's sunbed.
Old Golden Hen sponsors Prime Time.
That'll do nicely. Right, well, hello there, Fox here. And I'm just here really to give my personal endorsement to these marvellous ales. The Old Speckled Hen, which you see before me here on the bar, is of course the daddy of the whole thing. A marvellous brew, initially, I believe, designed and intended to celebrate the 50th anniversary of MG Cars. Now, you can probably tell from looking at me that I like a decent Sportster, and there's nothing finer than zipping between the best pubs in the local rural area in an open-topped MG and hunting down a decent bottle of Old Speckled Hen when you get there. It has a rich, mellow taste with hints of toffee and caramel and just a little aftertaste of feather, which I rather like. No, I made that last bit up. That's just me. But I really would recommend that you do give it a good try. A couple of these can really set you up for a splendid evening. The taste alone and the way the sunlight reflects through it, it's so redolent of all the best things about England. And I'm even prepared to forgive the hunt their tendency to follow me when I'm on the chase for an Old Speckled Hen, because frankly, it's worth it. Hello again, it's Fox here once more. I wanted to talk to you about Old Golden Hen, another beer from the Old Speckled Hen stable or coop or whatever it should be called. I'm not quite sure. The thing about this one is it's a little bit lighter and more refreshing than the traditional standard Old Speckled Hen. Apparently they use a special hop from Tasmania. I was a little alarmed when I heard that because I don't certainly no interest in going down the Australian lager route. But this is a different animal altogether. Has a sort of tropical fruit note in the taste. The point is, it really is geared towards refreshment on a warmer day. And as you can imagine, I don't like to remove or unbutton my waistcoat, so I'm always looking for something to help bring the temperature down when the sun's high in the sky. Very popular with the younger chaps, and lasses, indeed, they tell me, but I'm a fox of a certain age, and I can tell you I enjoy it very much as well. Cheers! Hello again, Fox here one more time to introduce you to yet another special brew from the Old Speckled Hen people. This one is called Old Crafty Hen. Now, traditionally, of course, it's the likes of me that are credited with craftiness, whereas the hen is regarded as a fairly docile and, let's be frank, stupid creature, capable of operating without its head for up to 3 or 4 minutes at a time. But on this occasion, I think the name is well given. The Old Crafty Hen really does show some exemplary intelligence. They've managed to blend Old Speckled Hen and Rare 5X for a rich, fruity finish. My God, this is almost a claret. It has so much complexity in it, and yet it's still refreshing and can be drunk by the bottle. Marvellous stuff, and I thoroughly recommend it, especially on nights with a bit of a nip in the air. Speaking of a nip, I think I might nip off and get myself a nice couple of chickens. See you later. Ta-ta!